Well, in just hours, our local communities will come together as LeFlore County Deputy Thomas Walker LeMay is laid to rest.
Yeah, I remember he was shot and killed during a standoff this past Sunday. His funeral will be held today in Heavener. Take a look at this map. A visitation will begin there at 9 o'clock, Dowden Roberts Funeral Home, followed by a procession with that funeral set for 2 o'clock this afternoon inside of the Heavener High School gym. Now, that's where we find 5 News reporter Claire Everbach.
She joins us live at the preview of what's expected today. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Tiffany. In just a few hours, this parking lot will be full of friends, family, and loved ones who are all coming to honor the life of Deputy Thomas Walker LeMay. In the last few days since his death, the community has reached an outpouring of support, including leaving flowers and cards at his vehicle and even starting fundraisers for his family, all going to show how much of an impact he had on this community. In the last few days, we've gotten a chance to speak with friends and colleagues of Deputy LeMay who say he represented the very best of public safety and the very best in the community as a son and father. Heavener wasn't just where he worked, it's also where he grew up. A 2014 graduate, LeMay returned in 2020 to serve his hometown police department, protecting the same streets that he once called home. Heavener Police Chief Josh Butler says in the days since his death, he's seen the community across the state come together like never before.
Just people loving people, you know, the outreach from the community and the communities itself, from Podo to Salisal to Pecola to Heavener, just an outpouring of support and love for each other.
Today, this building will be packed with local law enforcement, all coming out to support the LeFlore County Sheriff's Department. But it's not just local law enforcement. There'll also be people from across the state and country, all coming to honor the fallen deputy. We also are expecting to hear from the LeFlore County Sheriff, who will be officiating the funeral, as well as some of LeMay's fellow deputies who will be carrying his casket. Live in Heavener, covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
Thanks for that, Claire. Now, if you're unable to attend today's funeral, we'll be streaming it live right here on Channel 5, coverage starting at 2 o'clock. You can also watch for free on any of your smart TV devices over on the 5 News Plus app.
Meanwhile, local businesses are stepping in to support LeMay's family. Mazio's Pizza and Wings in Podo says they will host a benefit day tomorrow from 2 to 5. They will donate half of dine-in and pickup sales to the family. And the Fort Smith SWAT team is supporting the LeFlore County Sheriff's Office. The Coffee Cup in Podo posted on Facebook saying the SWAT team will cover the cost of drinks at the business for those who show their badge or ID.
Well, tributes for Deputy LeMay continue to pour in, with a teen in Illinois, Zachary Pruss, honoring him in a personal way. He's doing it through the group Running for Heroes, which runs 1 mile for each line of duty death. He says he's completed 88 memorial runs over the past 2 years, each one dedicated to a fallen hero and their family. He says once he heard about what happened with Deputy LeMay, he had to make that 1 mile run in his honor.
No matter where I go or no matter who I run for, I'll always feel a connection for the person. And it kind of makes you sit back and realize how big of an impact you're making, especially to not only the community, but the family members too.
Well, he says he'll run the 1 mile in honor of Deputy LeMay at 5:45 tonight. Well, now to an update on a Greenland teacher and basketball coach who was severely injured after a car wreck last year. This week, Greenland Schools posted a video from Jeremy Schober thanking his students and players for support and saying right now he and his doctors are focused on physical therapy and getting him back on his feet. Schober says he will have to have a few more surgeries, but he's hoping to be back on his feet and walking by the end of the year.
An anonymous donor has pledged $3 million to keep PBS operating in Arkansas. But according to the donor, matching funds must be required to receive the money on a yearly basis. It follows a nationwide cut of hundreds of millions of dollars affecting public broadcasting stations. According to leaders, while the state provides core funding, the station still relies on donations for about 14% of its revenue.
More people are talking about public television now than ever before, and that's a good thing because it gives us an opportunity to really assess what's valuable about public television.
The conversation is extending to the state capitol, where lawmakers have passed a bill out of the Special Language Committee that offers a separate way to match donated funds.
Well, tensions are rising in the Strait of Hormuz after Iranian state media released video it says shows its Revolutionary Guard seizing 2 ships. Iran says the seizures were in response to the U.S. taking control of one of its cargoes. U.S. Central Command says the blockade has now forced more than 30 vessels to turn around or return to port.
President Trump ultimately will dictate the timeline, and he will do so when he feels is in the best interest of the United States.
Well, the Trump administration is set to host another round of negotiations between Israel and Lebanon today. And wildfires in the southeast burning through tens of thousands of acres this morning.
The flames exploding in size amid a drought in the region. Jared Hill has the latest.
Smoke so thick in southeastern Georgia, it's hard to see on the roads as wildfires burn through homes.
We had no time to grab really anything.
Within 5 minutes, it went from smoke to a fire. So just understand, this thing is a very dynamic situation.
Nearly 100 firefighters are battling the Pineland Road fire, which is now burning through over 25,000 acres and is only 10% contained. In Brantley County, the fires consumed more than 50 homes. 1,000 more are under threat.
These winds may shift rapidly, which will create unpredictable fire behavior. So just stay alert. And for the public, be prepared to evacuate immediately.
This church has become a haven for families who've had to evacuate.
We just told them that the church was open for anybody that stood in need of food, bathrooms, air conditioning. We just opened our church up.
But the pastor says there are concerns they may be forced to evacuate as well. Across state lines in northern Florida, plumes of smoke billow above the trees as crews work to douse a series of large fires. The blazes stranding hundreds of Amtrak passengers on several trains that were stopped for more than 20 hours. Drones are now being put to work overnight to monitor hotspots.
Those are the type of technologies that have come light years in the last 20 years since the 1998 wildfires.
Officials say the situation has improved, but the risk remains. Jared Hill, CBS News.